Welcome to a special episode of Raw Honesty Productions. It's time for some action. And today we're going to be bringing to you a whole host of content creators and people in the community actually working to make a change. And this episode is specially dedicated to the alum and the administrator of Morehouse, one of the most predominant HBCUs. Now, before we bring everybody to the screen, let's also take a moment to thank our sponsor.
Gals in the backseat, yeah. Oh my, I ain't never seen someone look so fly. Pretty skin tone that caught my eye. You a heavenly being, when did I die? Pardon me, I'm just your type. No, start with me, I'm not about hype. You could guard me, and I just might grow to be everything you like. That's awesomeness. Can I witness your flawlessness? Need a little of your bossiness. They say time is money, and your time to get costly. Miss you, the hood girl with the brains like a scholar. Good girl, but you're looking for a baller. Need the blue strips on your dollars, but take your number. When she ready, she'll call ya.
Run up the tab like a track meet. Take out the gals, put the gals in the backseat.
Run up the tab like a track meet. Take out the gals, put the gals in the backseat. Run up.
Hello. Look, everybody's here. Good afternoon. We are joined by the hostess with the mostest, TC HBCU Queen. Hey. Our man of the hour, always stoic and always debonair, Arano with his trusty water bottle, okay? We have Just Andrea.
Hello, everybody.
Fire. Hello, gorgeous. We have Jordan Phillips joining us today from Morehouse. You better let him know Morehouse gets busy. Morehouse gets busy. Yes. And we have Reese, who is also going to be a Morehouse man. Okay. And shout out to his mama, Tita Talks. Yes, we have piano games around here. Yes. We just have a few more people that will be joining us. But TC, tell us, love, why you brought us here today. We are gathered here today under TC's tutelage. Let's get it. You're muted.
I know that. Don't get it twisted. I knew that.
Listen, I just want to say, first of all, giving honor to God. This is Sunday, July the 23rd. So giving honor to God that we are all here. It is a blessing. It is a blessing. All right.
Amen.
I just want to say also, it is Leo season. God bless everybody who has a Leo in their life. God bless them. God bless you. God bless them, everybody. God bless everybody. It's a Leo season. Okay. Now, Raw, I just want to say to you, we have this wonderful collaboration, and anytime I have an idea, there are just certain content creators that I can always go to, and Raw is one of them. And she just says okay, and then that's it. It's no question, and then she makes it even better, always. So I just want to say, Raw, be privileged. Thank you for everything. For everything that you do and what you bring to the table in these YouTube streets. Okay. Aaron, I have seen you in these YouTube streets, a young man, a brother who is definitely balanced. He brings the smoke. He makes everybody responsible, everyone responsible and accountable. I was introduced to him by Raw Be Privilege, and anytime she introduces anyone to me, I know that the brothers are good people. And when she said, I want this brother here, I said, you know what? That's good, because I have two brothers, and you see them, Reese and Jordan, and I want the brothers to have a conversation with the brothers. So Aaron, thank you so much for being here today. You are truly a blessing.
Pleasure.
Just Andrea, another content creator. Listen. Just Andrea is one. Listen, she is one of the sisters. She does a lot. Foster mom. Okay, a mom, okay, a grandma, okay, all of that, all of the above and everything. I don't know how she balances everything out, but she does. And she's from the heart. And she and I had an opportunity to meet down there in North Carolina A&T at my homecoming, and in her part of the town, her folks. And we had an awesome time. She met my family. I met her family. And, you could just tell that just good people, just good down home people. Okay. So I just want to say thank you, just Andrea, for being here. I couldn't do it without you, because you know what I bring in terms of this HBCU and the love. You and Raw really know. Okay. So thank you for being here. And Mama Tita. Don't see there. She's trying to play peekaboo. I see you, peekaboo. Mama Tita. Now I stomped down there in the yard with you.
Yes.
In April. I had an invite from Mama Tita, and I just want to say thank you. I was able to talk to your family, your homestead, your church family. Yes. And we did the doggone thing with that college preparation from A to Z. And Reese, right there. When I said, one of the things that I do in my college preparation, I ask people from A to Z, what is the letter A as it pertains to college preparation, as it pertains to preparing for college? And Reese said, appreciation. And you know what? I wanted to just cry, but I had to keep it together, because a lot of folks don't appreciate what you content creators are doing right here. They don't appreciate it. They don't appreciate what we do as people who are pushing and promoting our youngsters, because there are a plethora of people who still continue to push and promote and help our young people to get to college. And when he said appreciation, I just wanted to say thank you. Reese, you were awesome. He got some money out of me that day. He got a lot of money out of me. I couldn't help it, because he's just awesome. And he just came back from an HBCU tour, right, Reese? So we're gonna get into that in a minute, okay? Jordan, this is my son, y'all, right there. That's my son. If I had a son, that's who he would be. And my father, and rest in peace, he would have been so proud. I am so proud of you. He is an intern. He comes in. You should see, y'all should see the way he comes in. He's so respectful. He don't take any tea for the fever, because I heard him on those phone calls, having to get constituents to put him in place. but he's so respectful. He's going places. He's already at Morehouse. He's a junior at Morehouse. He's an Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. He's a member. And he drives, y'all. Ladies, he drives all that. He has a license. He's real, okay? And he's just awesome. So I'm so proud of him. And I told everybody, I said, that's my son. Period. And we have here Chef. Oh, that's the philosopher right here. This is the philosopher. You remember KRS One, the philosopher? Well, this right here, this is who we have in the YouTube streets. He's the wisdom. He is someone that just keeps it 100. Even if you don't agree, we can agree to disagree, and we still have love at the end of the day. That's the wisdom. That's the paternal. So this is Baba Chef right here, y'all. Okay, so Baba Chef, he's going to be giving y'all some words of wisdom. He's also, in a fraternity as well. He'll, talk about that, later on down the line. But I just wanted to introduce everybody. I want to start with Reese.
Wait, because we do have one more person that will be joining us. Now, you see how TC did. She's so gracious, honey. She's so gracious. She has given glowing accolades to everyone else. But let me tell you a little bit about TC. Now, those of you that are not new to my channel know this is not the first time we've had a really diverse panel brought together by TC. When you see our special guests that we are waiting for, we're giving them grace, honey. You will be shocked and amazed. But TC has brought us judges, lawyers, people in higher education, and she has tried to help the community to facilitate network connections that can be beneficial to them in the future, and also help them focus their goals on where they want to be. So, when you come over here, honey, you will never know what you're gonna get. It is a box of chocolate over here, honey. You might get some caramel, you might get some creamy nougat, you might get some honey roasted peanuts, honey. But we have it all covered. And wherever you see TC at, that is where you want to be, honey. Y'all don't sleep on her. Don't sleep on TC. She's about that life in a major way. And salute to TC for being excellent matriarch in the community. Salute.
Amen.
And for that, you know what you finna get, right? You know what you finna get?
Yes.
It is giving hip hip hooray. Yes. Welcome everybody in the chat. Yes. Okay, so let's get off into it. Where are we starting?
We're gonna start with Reese. So he's Mama Tita Talks. So everyone knows Tita Talks.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know Tita Talks. Aggie Pride. I see some Aggie Pride in the house. All right. Tita Talks, one and only one of our wonderful content creators. She's a vlogger. She vlogs her life, and she's just so open, and she's just so honest and integral. Just I don't know what to say about Tita. She's just genuine and very authentic, and we all love her. And Chef even said, "Look, if we getting ready to do something, don't forget me." So yeah, and so Chef and Andrea, we getting ready to get down with the get down, right, Mama Tita?
Yes.
Right. You
yes.
okay? So Reese,
I'm all in.
You all in? I know that's right.
And a lot of people sleep on Miss Tita. Don't get it twisted. Don't you ever get it twisted, because you see my baby over here with her bonnet and her house coat on. See, y'all be judging books by the cover. Miss Tita is very, very wise. If you go over there, you actually get into her content and you listen. She always has a good word for the children, honey. Sometimes you got to give them visually what they think it is, so that they will listen. Y'all stop sleeping on them.
Thank you, Raw.
And her son, Mama Tita, you have a son, beautiful brother, strong man, young man who's getting ready to go off to college. So Reese, you went on an HBCU tour.
Yes.
Just recently. So how was that? Tell me. And where did you go?
I went to was it
Hampton
and Morehouse, and it was a It was very nice. I like both of the college. I really like Morehouse.
Okay. And what was it about Morehouse that got you?
Um, I liked what it stood for, and I liked how uh, they said that they would make you a leader.
Excellent. Excellent. Anybody have any questions for Reese? The brothers,
What
Raw?
are yes? What are you going to Morehouse to study?
Engineering
Mm.
or architecture.
Oh, that's nice. That's what's up. Was the admission process super hard for you?
Well, he hasn't gone through it yet because Reese is a junior in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Not a junior in high school, and you is already preparing for your
Yeah.
future.
Bam.
Boy,
That part.
I am proud of you. See, this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta start ordering our children's steps from young. Don't wait till they graduate high school and then be frantic looking for colleges. You may need a couple years to figure out everything that's going to go along with your child going away to school. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
And I want to add to that TC has been, she started calling me like even last year. But when this year hit, TC was like, okay, Mama Tita, it's time. We got to start planning. I was like, I don't know if I can afford all these expensive colleges and stuff.
Don't worry about that.
She said, nope. We're going to do this. She just been taking my hand by the y'all. She just been very helpful. I appreciate her. Mm-hmm.
All right. You're welcome, Mama. Any let me ask you one question. When you went to Morehouse, because Morehouse is in Atlanta, what do you feel, or how do you feel about being in an all-male, possibly going to an all-male college?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think it would be pretty fun. You would have a good brotherhood, and it would just be a different experience, and there would always be like Spelman College right next to it, so you would never like be all alone.
Mm-hmm. So Jordan, so as y'all can see, Reese is a junior in high school and Jordan is a junior in college. So Jordan is at Morehouse already. So Jordan, and what do you say, or first of all, who are you, how, all that good stuff, and what would you say in terms of giving Reese some some information or advice?
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. I want to say thank you so much for the invitation, TC, to be on here. I thank you for that awesome introduction. I do want to make one small correction that though I am not yet a member of a Divine organization, much respect to those who are and my Morehouse brothers. Reese, some advice I would definitely give to you coming into Morehouse and through your college journey is just continue to remain true to who you are. Many take that statement for granted, but you can get lost in your college search trying to please others or meet expectations that aren't yours. Understand that the college experience is what you make it, what you allow it to be. You have total control over it. So if Morehouse is the place for you, which it sounds like it is, and I'm happy to talk to a future Morehouse brother of mine, much respect on your journey, but also continue to just seek deep and understand what you want from your college experience. Make sure that you're choosing an institution that can give that to you. And if it's not Morehouse, it's all right. You have an HBCU family that's ready to embrace you at whatever institution you go to. So, and I'm here to congratulate you along that whole path, and congratulations for all that you're doing thus far, because many aren't even doing college tours. So you've taken the extra step, and you're ahead of the 8 ball. So,
amen.
All right. Aaron and Baba Chef, do you all have anything to say to Reese?
Yes, Reese, I'm interested in knowing how did you narrow your selection down? How are you so sure that you want to go to an HBCU?
Everyone always says that when you go to a HBCU and like you feel at home, and it's true. You just when the first time I ever went to I ever like looked at a HBCU, it was very different from what I was like used to, and it was just it like the area and the vibe, it just felt like home, and that's how I knew I wanted to.
I love that. Baby said it felt
And
like
plus, he's
home.
going because we say so, and does that. Okay,
Not
Aaron?
because we say so. See, this is when TC gets herself a spanking. But you know what, baby?
sorry.
You do need a spanking. I know they had told you that there was only a whole bunch of men down to the Morehouse, honey. But let me show you the halftime funk performance. Okay?
Uh-oh.
From Morehouse. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Look at that. All right. Hey, yeah. All right.
They getting it.
We get ready. Break it down. Break it down. Break it down. That's just the band, y'all. That's just the band. So, I'm just saying. It seems like they're at halftime, getting ready to go into the stands from their halftime performance. And now they're getting ready. Yeah, that's when we get ready to break it down.
Yes, it is not a game. Okay. That is another part of the HBCU experience. It's homecoming. It's game day. It's community. Morehouse not only has a wonderful educational program, their music program is stellar, off the chain. When we started the show, you heard from their jazz orchestra band. Now you saw a little bit of their big band. You heard a little bit of their big band in this intro. We're going to let you hear the men's a cappella choir as well. But we have us a nice little guest that done joined us.
All right.
Hello, Mr. Snowden. How are you?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. How are you?
Fine, and you? Welcome to the show.
Good, thank you.
Hey, Dr. Snowden. How are you?
I'm good, TC. How are you?
Excellent. So Dr. Snowden is that was our special guest. He is the chief of staff for the president of the college, of the Morehouse College. And Dr. Snowden, since you're here, we had an opportunity. I want you to meet Jordan Phillips. He's a junior at Morehouse right there. Jordan Phillips, he's right there. You can see they're wearing the same shirt, everybody. Okay. So, and also we have Reese down in right next to you, to your left, Dr. Snowden. I love this, Raw. Thank you. You have Reese, and he was the one. He's a high school junior, and he just came back from Morehouse on an HBCU tour, and he just gave us, his feelings, and that he would love to really attend a stellar institution of higher learning such as Morehouse College. Dr. Snowden, who are you?
Good question. But I'm not really want to talk about myself. TJ Snowden, I'm the chief of staff to the president and transformation officer at Morehouse College. I've been in Morehouse about 5 years now, including a stint as an intern, as a special assistant to the president at Morehouse. I was previously the director of admissions up until March of 2022. So Jordan was probably one of the first classes that I admitted to the college. And so I started this role as the chief of staff March of last year. And it's been a whirlwind. No day is the same. It's always something different, and you get to see things from a 30,000 foot view, and not just because my office is in the third floor of the administration building, but because I get to be a part of all of the different goings on at the college. And so it's been a very rewarding experience. I did not go to a HBCU. I went to the University of Georgia for my bachelor's and my doctorate degrees, but certainly the experience that I've had at Morehouse The last 5 years has been nothing short of amazing, and I'm sure Jordan has given his his spiel about how great Morehouse has been. Reese has given a great piece about his experience at the college, and so if we do have any other men of Morehouse or parents who are on who had students go to Morehouse, certainly they will echo some of the same sentiments that Morehouse is a great opportunity for a young man, and particularly young Black man, to go learn about themselves and be who they, and start out that journey to be who they are ultimately going to be in this world. And that's a leader, that's a change maker, that's a man with the disciplined mind who intends to lead a life of leadership and service.
Excellent. All right. Dr. Snowden, since you were the director of admissions, and just briefly, just quickly go through what are the criteria in order for a young man to enter into Morehouse?
You would ask me that after I've not been in that process for over a year. It varies, right? And so similar to some colleges, you'll probably hear, particularly colleges that are selective, you'll hear that there is not a particular GPA or test score. Morehouse has been test optional since COVID. So 2020, we've been test optional and will remain to do so for the foreseeable future. But we don't look for a certain GPA. However, I will advise parents and students that it is extremely competitive. The last 3 classes that we've had come into Morehouse have had the freshman class has had at least a 3.69 GPA. So it is certainly, that includes, valedictorians, students with a number of AP and IB courses, dual enrollment and the like. And so it does weigh heavily that a student shows that he can excel in the classroom. But I will also say that it's not just GPA. It's not just test scores for those students who decide to take it, because we do still have students who still want to take the SAT and the ACT. It's also about who that young man is as a leader at his current school, in his community. And so we do look very heavily on the students' engagement and how they're able to not only be great in the classroom, but be great outside. And so that does not mean go and have 100 clubs in your resume, because you can't be a great member or a leader in 100 clubs, right? If you have 1, 2, maybe 3 where you excel as an officer, as someone who really shows that that you have some value that you've added to the club or the group, I think that works very well to your advantage.
Okay. All right. Is there anyone, Mama Tita, Reese, do you all have any questions for Dr. Snowden? Anyone else on the panel have any questions for Dr. Snowden?
I mean, I just think it's so amazing that you're so humble. It's really great to see our brothers, in positions of leadership and paving the way and helping our younger brothers navigate through. Because we live in a world where there's a lot of negative direction given to them. So I'm here for the positivity and the positive vibes. Thank you so much for gracing my platform. I know you're very busy.
No, happy to be here. And I mean, and I think you'll find that across the board at Morehouse, among all students, and particularly, faculty and staff as well. It's a place of privilege, and privilege not in the sense that it's all about the picture you kind of paint about Morehouse men, that everybody walks around dressed up in suits, and that we're just kind of too good for our own. But it is certainly a place where I think young men really come to really learn what is not only just what's important to them, but who they could be in the world. Again, the mission we have is to develop young men who with disciplined minds lead lives of leadership and service. And it really is about going out to not only service the local Atlanta community, but the global community as well. So whether it is the West End or whether it is the farthest ends of the earth, that is something that we pride ourselves on, whether you graduated 50 years ago or whether you're going to be graduating in the next 6 months. That is something that's really important. And from my own experience coming to Morehouse, and I knew about Morehouse before, and it just wasn't something that was particularly on my radar 20 something odd years ago when I graduated high school. Knowing what I know now, interacting with young men like Jordan, interacting with, other leaders across campus, I think it's one of the best decisions that a young man can make to show his interest in going to Morehouse, right? And I think it takes with any college, it's not just going to be the institution reaching after you because you're a smart Black man. It's going to be you also showing that that you have a interest in being in that space as well. So, it's a dance, right? It's us looking for the best and brightest to come and continue the legacy that Morehouse has created since 1867. But also that the young man comes and is looking for something that's different, right? And we have students from all walks of life, and I can tell you, it's not just a student who has a 2-parent household whose mom and dad can pay the bill, right? I got some kids that have seen some things that that may make you cringe a little bit, right? But they come to Morehouse for something better. They come to see what's in the sauce, and at the end of the day, when they're able to cross the stage as a Morehouse man, it is something to behold. And if you've never been to a Morehouse graduation, we like to call it commencement. If you've never been to one, if you've never seen it on TV, not TV, but live stream, it is something truly to behold. And it's not just the great speeches by, the Robert Smiths and the Raphael Warnocks and the like. It is just good to see the very few places where you can see 400 young mostly Black men doing something extremely positive, right? Going through a ceremony that shows like you've made it, right? You finished this part, but you're now also going out into the world to take the teachings that Mother Morehouse has imparted on you and giving that to others and encouraging them to be great as well.
You said Mother Morehouse. Okay.
I caught that too. I was like, go ahead, Mother Morehouse.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the first time I've even heard that term before, but that's what I'm talking about. Yes. Yes. Dr. Snowden, we have Baba Chef Shapino, who's underneath you, and when I say well, anyway, he's on the panel. Bottom line, and he has a question that he'd like to ask as well.
Absolutely.
All right. Good afternoon, Doctor. Peace, love, and light to you. I definitely wanted to thank you for joining the panel. One thing I do understand is in order for you to have reached this particular height within your career, you obviously would have had great opportunities to do jobs and hold job functions that make a whole lot more money. But you chose to work within, administration and higher education. So I know, just looking at you, just the way you articulate yourself and where you've reached within your obviously young age, I know for a fact you could have got rich somewhere else. So my question to you is, what is that spiritual thing within you to make you choose this ministry? Because what you're doing is actually a ministry, because you could have made more money elsewhere. But there's something driving you to be a shepherd of young men towards an education, towards a newer perspective. So my question is, what's that energy source that made you choose this ministry?
And that's a great question, Chef. I appreciate that. I didn't choose it, right? I think it chose me. I had no desire to be in higher education.
The game chose me.
Let alone work at HBCU, and that's not because I had no knowledge of HBCUs and what they do. I wanted to be a sports agent, right? I went to school for sports communications, and I didn't take an internship during my college time because I was working my way through school. I had a couple scholarships, and a couple of breaks didn't fall the way I thought they would. So I kind of toiled in between retail management for a number of years. And I found myself in a job or a management training program where I didn't want to be. And I made the decision to just apply for a job at the University of Georgia as a financial aid counselor. And because I had done, because I knew enough about the financial aid process, just kind of being a student, but then also had gone through a number of customer service roles. I figured it would be something easy. So I jumped into that, and I'd say over the last 16 years that I've been in higher ed, and I appreciate the sentiment you say, my young career, I literally just turned 40 2 weeks ago. And people are like, oh, you don't look like that. It's like, nah, I just don't grow facial hair. So that's why I look like this. But going back to it, I tried to get out of higher education for a number of years, just to figure out something else, like you said, to make more money, but something just kept drawing me back. And then when my wife and I moved from Washington, D.C. in 2016 back to Atlanta, I needed an internship as I was finishing my doctoral program. And all of my research was on African-American college presidents. And, in my head, I want to be a college president, particularly a college president of a big, historically white institution, because at that point in time, we were kind of bubbling up on the cusp of George Floyd and COVID and a number of other things. And so I'm like, all right, this is my shot. And the President Thomas was the only person to answer the cold email for me to do an internship. And so for a year, while I was working remotely from my job in DC in Atlanta, as well as serving as the president of UGA's Black Alumni Association, I was a special assistant to President David Thomas at Morehouse College. And that's kind of how I got my foot in. And again, I knew about Morehouse. I didn't want to do the HBCU thing because, I've been in Black spaces all my life, so I thought I wanted something different. But lo and behold, I went to a large college where there were very few of us and ended up gravitating toward the few of us that were there. And so I did all the things that, the Black experience, right, within a PWI, and then going to Morehouse and seeing it being very similar to a fraternal organization, which, I'm a member of fraternity as well. I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated for the last 21 years. I like what I saw. I like that the young men didn't feel like they were strangers in their own midst, even though some of them probably hadn't met each other, but maybe 5 minutes prior to, dapping each other up, right? It was always talking about brother. It was always talking about brotherhood. And that was something that I was very familiar with through my time through my membership in the organization. But it was something I liked and something I gravitated towards. And so fast forward, when my internship was up, 2 months later, the president says, hey, you want to be a president? Here's the opportunity to get on the ground floor. I need a director of admissions. And it was up from there. And so, I've done this for, again, like I say, 16 years over the course of a number of institutions, but it's just something that draws me to go to work every day and see young people doing things. And I'm just in awe of the experiences and opportunities a young man like Jordan have, a young man like Reese will have when he becomes a man of Morehouse as a student. And it's something I wish I would have been able to take advantage of as an undergraduate some years ago. But I love what I do. I love being able to impact the young people. And it's something that, like I said, a ministry for sure that I just can't shake, right? And I don't want to shake it. I want to continue to be in a space where I can be of value to young men that look like myself, to young men in general, and to come experience a place like Morehouse, because I think that it is something that is of value and should continue to be of value, like all HBCUs should.
That's right.
Thank you, guys.
Can I ask a question to Jordan and following up with TJ? There's often a lot of conversations around funding for HBCUs. Jordan, has funding been an impact on your experience there? And then if you can, TJ, if you could follow up with some of the ways that you guys deal with funding HBCUs and the misconceptions or proper assessments of if they're properly funded and if they're not.
Yes, thank you for that question. I would say that funding, I have yet to run into that wall just yet. But what I would say is that through the HBCU experience and learning what I have at Morehouse, one of the biggest things that you have to take advantage of, or myself has to take advantage of, is advocacy. Institutions have money to give to you, but they want to know you're just equally as invested, if not more, into your education, into your experience, and to what you do post-undergrad. And so being able to advocate for yourself on such a level, and being able to show that their dollar is worth, you having right? For that assistance, I think that it creates an equal opportunity for everyone. And like an institution like Morehouse, where advocacy is at the forefront of what we're learning, right? I think that you create a group of young men who learn that this is just the way that it's going to have to be, and saying that it's not a bad thing that you have to advocate for yourself, because honestly, within that you find your purpose. You understand what you're at your institution for, and what they can do for you, and your institution also understands this is the reason we took that chance on you, right? Each and every student that comes in here, we saw your purpose, right? And you just now tapped into it. And so I will say no, that I have not run into that just yet, but I am enjoying my experience so far.
So to jump into that, and prior to coming to Morehouse, my background was in financial aid, so I'm very well versed in funding issues and let's just be honest, right? All HBCUs are underfunded, and they have been underfunded for 100+ years, and that's the majority of them. And there are a couple of them that are that maybe be on the cusp of being 100, but all of them are underfunded, and part of that is not only going to be systematic and a political issue, but it's also getting corporations and private donors, and particularly our alumni, to give back to our HBCUs, right? The most, while you hear a lot of these, news stories about, the big gifts, the $20 million, the $40 million, and everyone giving to these scholarships, the best way for us to have or to continue to be funded is through consistent giving, through recurring giving from our alumni and supporters who want to, while you think, I like it as something even like tithes, right? When for those of you who tithe the church, like you give that little 10, you get that 10%, right? And you think your 10%, maybe if it's $100, maybe it's $10, doesn't go toward anything, but it adds up if you consistently give toward, as the chef said a bit earlier, that ministry, right? That institution, that investment in higher education. So I urge, if any HBCU folks, alums that are here or supporters, think about just giving that $10, right? That $120 at the end of the year is going to do something for somebody, right? And everybody's not going to be able to get the $20 million, the $10 million. That's an anomaly for most people, 90% of the people, 95% of the people. But if you can give, please do, and not just give because it's the sexy thing to do right now, because HBCUs are quote unquote on this rise when they've been around for so long. Like, give because you want to, give because young people like Jordan, young people like Reese want to go to a Morehouse, want to go to a FAM, want to go to a Howard, and be there and not have issues with funding. And let's just be honest, education is an investment, right? And unfortunately, we're not in a space where we can give every young man a scholarship, right? And so it's going to be about what you put into it, right? Are you going to put in the work in the classroom? Are you going to put in the work in the extracurricular activities? Are you going to present your best self, not only on paper, but in person, right? And that warrants the scholarship opportunities. And it's not just going to be, but the institutional scholarship. And I will tell parents that are on here now, do not lean on institutional scholarships. That is the worst possible strategy you could have, is to think that just because my young man is the exceptional young black boy at his school with his 3-point whatever and his 1200 SAT, he might be the smartest young black man at his school. I can toss a rock and hit 20 valedictorians within just the first 2 months of the application period. They're probably going to be 50 valedictorians, 20 salutatorians, and top 2 of their percentile in this incoming class of 650 that we're going to have coming in next year. So it's not, if exceptionalism is what you're going to lean on, then you're going to have a problem when that bill come due. And that's just the honest truth. So I ask parents to look at, UNCF, Thurgood Marshall College Fund, to look at your employers. They may have tuition reduction programs, but also the Commerce Club in your local neighborhood, some of the business organizations. One place that I know that has a number of scholarships that typically go unclaimed at a number of times is for fraternities and sorority alumni chapters. right? And it may not be, the big money that we're all looking for and hear great things about. It's not a GATE scholarship, but it's going to be something to defray the cost. And I think that's really important for parents to take a look at, and think about, okay, maybe we're not going to knock it out the park and get the big scholarship. But if we could piece together 5 to 7 scholarships that equal, anywhere between $1,500 to $5,000 a piece, we can knock out a really big dent in this bill. And that's just the honest truth. What I tried to do as the director of admissions some time ago was like, just be honest with folks and really educate parents on what the investment is. There's like, oh, well, I don't want to take out student loans. I don't want to do these. Like, okay, look, what people get stuck at with student loans is they take out too much and use that to live on. That's when it becomes a real issue. Because you probably hear about, the refund checks and all this other stuff. That's where your biggest issue is going to be. You owe $30,000 in loans because you try to live on $30,000 in loans a year. So that's why we're coming up. Oh, well, we owe more, 10 times more than a certain group or whatnot. No, that's planning. That's what that is, and that's understanding student loan. That's understanding student loan interest. The difference between a subsidized and unsubsidized student loan, or a parent plus loan, right?
So I'm sorry, TJ.
Please go ahead.
I'm sorry. I did wanted to ask a question. I asked a bunch of random questions, so if I ask anything too crazy, just let me know. I noticed that a bunch of graduates from HBCUs are some of the best and brightest, right? And when we talk about some funding issues that exist, I'm interested in knowing, because I know competition is high for the best talent. We've seen other universities build their universities through the sports department, right? And it seems a lot of the prominent athletes in this country tend to be Black men. And we've watched other universities tend to build off of their talents and skills and build, facilities better and better. And we have been unable to attract them to building, I would say, our universities, right? Have you been noticing ways that we possibly can combat that, or have you been noticing a trend towards awakening and moving in that area?
So I think there's opportunity there for sure. I think what a number of the institutions have done is that we have devalued the sports experience. And it hasn't been, and we all have like these divisions and tiers that we're kind of in. So Morehouse is a Division II. You think about places like Jackson State and Southern and some of the other schools there in Division I.
North Carolina A&T. Don't get it twisted, TJ. Don't do that, TJ.
Hey, listen,
don't do that.
A&T is in Division. A&T is in Division I.
We have several in the NFL.
You do, and that's great that we do have that representation. So, but I think because we have been on this course to measure up towards being intellectually able to compete. It's not since the days of, and let's just say, when Grambling was really hot on the scene in the 60s and 70s, and in the 80s with Mississippi Valley when Jerry Rice was there, and some of the other NFL Hall of Famers, have we really placed that type of emphasis on HBCU sports, right? We're just lucky enough to get a couple of folks in the NCAA tournament come March, right? And that's just maybe one or two from the MEAC and the SWAC. So it's not, if we're going to, and I think this is with anything, if we're going to have those types of opportunities, we're going to have to develop the resources through giving to be able to warrant having our young people go professional in a number of these sports so they can come back and pour into those in those respective areas. So, there's an opportunity. But I will say this, it's going to be resources, right? UGA's resources look different from Morehouse resources. And part of that is because there's a level of giving and excitement about sports at a University of Georgia than it is about a Morehouse. And it is about a number of other institutions, right? You're talking 90,000 people or 90,000 plus people at a UGA, at an Alabama, maybe 60,000 at Georgia Tech. Their football team there's a lot to be desired with that football team. And that's just not me saying that because I went to UGA. But we're pushing to get maybe 5,000 people in BT Harvest Stadium on a Saturday, right? That's 5,000 people. There are high schools in Texas who have larger stadiums than that. And that's because people who are in that community want to invest in the sports experience. So when we can get people to write their check and corporate sponsors to get involved in HBCU sports, I think that will certainly turn the tide, and there'll be a number of young people not just talking the talk, but walking the walk when it comes to being a part of HBCU sports. And I know we had this whole thing where about a year or so ago, you hear the 5-star athletes talking about, oh, I want to come to a black school and I want to go to an HBCU. And they get on campus and they see, okay, well, I got the homecoming welcome, right? But when I look at the gym and when I look at the locker room, that looks different than my experience than when I went to this predominantly white school where 90% of the people on the team are going to be black. They probably were just as good, if not as good as I was when I was in high school. And they have the nutrition, they have the weights, they have the buildings and the like. So when we get off our horse and say we want to put money down on a Morehouse and an A&T and a Morgan and a Howard, then we'll get to that point too.
I have a Ron. Oh, go ahead, Ron.
I had a question because I think sports are
Ron. If you don't mind, I have we have a guest here, State Senator Sharif Street.
Yes. I was going to introduce
and he's
him.
in the car. He's drinking water. He's getting parched, I guess. And I know that we're going to continue on with the sports question, but State Senator Sharif Street, he's a Morehouse man, a Morehouse grad. And he was track and field the whole 9 yards. State Senator, he is my state senator here in Philadelphia. He's absolutely awesome. Comes from a generational wealth in terms of his father, his
John
uncle.
Street.
Oh, see, Chef.
On now, criminal justice reform, baby.
There we go. So I just want to say this before the state senator says something to the young men, and that is in Proverbs 13:22. Everybody, Proverbs 13:22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the righteous. Yes. That's Proverbs 13:22.
Can we sprinkle some extra sauce on that intro, please?
I wasn't finished. TC, she don't really do this. This not what she do. So I had something special for the senator. Senator, if you don't mind.
His father is illustrious.
Yes.
Give me 1 minute.
Former mayor of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You see, you let people come to your platform, honey, and everybody get to acting up. Welcome to the Butterfly Progressive Senator. Now let me show you some love the Harlem way.
You always had me waiting, and I'm about fresh out of patience. This time we switching positions. Now you under my submission, like woo.
All right.
What is given is Senator Sharif is that hot fire. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Go ahead and tell us about yourself.
Well, look, I'm senator from the 3rd District in Pennsylvania. My district's in the heart of Philadelphia. I'm from North Philadelphia, and I'm one of 2 more House men to be in the Pennsylvania State Senate. We have 4 black men in the Pennsylvania State Senate. 2 of them are from Morehouse, and I'm very proud of my HBCU connections. I'm also the first African American to chair the Pennsylvania Democratic Party. Well, look, I was listening and I was enjoying the conversation around sports. When I was at Morehouse, I did run track, and I was actually the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference champion and record holder in the steeplechase, and I ran in the Olympic prelims.
Senator,
can you hear me?
do you have your phone on Bluetooth?
I don't. You want me to put it on Bluetooth?
No, it's just a little
choppy.
Maybe he has the mic on the phone.
Yeah, possibly.
It could be.
I'm not on the phone. I'm on the laptop. But I think I can hook a Bluetooth up to it.
Oh, he on the laptop in the car. Okay, that's when you know you about your business. All right.
Is that the suburban senator, or is it the?
It's just a old forerunner. Ford, whatever this thing is.
Are you using a hotspot from your phone? If you are, that's okay. Then it's not gonna get no better.
No, it's a mobile hotspot, but it's not from my phone. It's a separate hotspot. Maybe a little choppy because of hotspot.
Fancy, I like it.
Look, I'm sorry about the signal. But what I was saying, look, I played sports in college. I ran for Morehouse, and we won the SIC conference championship while I was there. And I actually went on to the Olympic prelims from Morehouse. And what I would suggest is that, look, in football, and if we're going to compete in sports as black colleges, in sports like football and basketball, where it takes a tremendous investment financially, we're probably ways away. But there are lots of other sports where we probably could make real investments and be able to compete. We could look, track and field. Morehouse has had a history of doing really well, and if we get some of those athletes and some of those other sports, we could probably grow. And then there's sports like esports, where they're new. Those are now growing. There are more sponsorships. It's a lot cheaper to build an esports facility than it is to build a football arena and figure out how to get 90,000 people in it. So I think we have to be creative about how we grow our athletic programs, just like black folks have had to be creative about everything else we do.
Exactly.
Great. That's a very good point.
Yeah, I think
like pickleball. I think we need to do some pickleball. If you ever pickleball,
no,
yes,
no,
we do. We need to do pickleball. Yes, we do.
Nope. Now, hold on.
I don't know. But I saw it on TV the other day. But I know very little about pickleball.
Well,
but I think
we've been learning about it.
What the issue becomes is
that tennis, right? That's a sport we could certainly that's taking off.
It's taking off.
TC been trying to get us all hooked up with this pickleball, but let's show some love to the sponsors and the people in the chat that have been donating. And then when we come back, I got a question for you, Dr. Snowden. Get ready.
Decom, thank you for the pickleball. It's not me, Decom. Raw, you ain't right, Raw.
What?
Gals in the backseat, yeah. Oh my, I ain't never seen someone look so fly. Pretty skin tone, it caught my eye. You a heavenly being, when did I die? Pardon me, I'm just your type. No, start with me, I'm not about hype. You could guard me, and I just might grow to be everything you like. That's awesomeness. Can I witness your flawlessness? Need a little of your bossiness. They say time is money, and your time it get costly. Miss you, the hood girl with the brains like a scholar. Good girl, but you're looking for a baller. Need the blue strips on your dollars, but take your number. When she ready, she'll call ya.
Run up the tab like a track meet. Take out the gals, put the gals in the backseat.
Run up the tab like a track meet. Take out the gals, put the gals in the backseat. Run up.
Thank
My
you.
bad. Y'all be catching me. Y'all be dancing some of my own little songs, honey. I'll be over here having a party. And I was steady talking, and I forgot when I play it through certain parts of the system, it mutes me. So shout out to Bremer Bank, okay, Modern Homes. We thank you, Leaders of the Future Academy, and the School Association of Philadelphia. We appreciate y'all. Now,
School Police Association.
School Police
of Philadelphia.
Association.
Yes.
My apologies.
Thank
Now,
you.
Dr. Snowden, we have a representation of roughly 2% in STEM programs. So while athletics are amazing, how do we increase our output and our outshowing in those fields? Because that's a pretty big and major component to the future of our society.
So I think it's mainly about representation, making it real for students to see people that look like them, people who have similar stories to them, and showing that there is a career pathway through that area, right? But then also in the same vein, that it's not so rigid that, hey, if I'm interested in biology and I want to be a doctor, but then I realize I really don't want to be a doctor, is my degree going to be useless? No, there's opportunities for you to use those degrees and those skill sets in other areas, right? We need doctors, but just the same way that we need doctors, we need practitioners, and we need assistants, and we need, folks who are in the business community to help us develop some of those opportunities where we can sell products and services to folks who look like us, or to the global community, to create opportunities for generational wealth amongst our families, but then also the people that will ultimately be tied to us. And so, if I saw and me wanting to be a sports agent at the time, if I saw a sports agent who I knew that was close to me, that came from my hometown, or someone who was from a similar situation, I would have been more inclined to try and network with that person, as opposed to looking at that perch where they are, some years later, as not a gateway, but a barrier, because here I am, a student, just trying to get it, and here you are, having been, in this particular industry for a number of years. And so, if we think about our doctors and our, and other professionals in STEM, not just going to the schools and, and reading for a day and thinking that's just going to be their level of service, but being mentors, being a part of these programs where students can actually reach out and touch, them, in a sense that, hey, you can offer your email for, a quick conversation, or you can do some lunchroom visits, or something that brings it a little more closer to home, and brings it closer to the students. And again, it's just something that they can see that's a bit more achievable, because, they're a doctor from a small town like Monroe, Louisiana. If I knew who that person was, some years ago, and I was like, hey, I want to be a doctor, I feel like I have a connection to that person. Say, look, I'm from Monroe, or I went to this school, and, I'd like to be a doctor as well. Can you talk to me about your path? And I think that's the beauty about HBCUs, is that we take care of our own, right? And the senator can probably attest, and Jordan as well, the Morehouse fraternity, for lack of a better word, runs deep. And it's not just somebody I knew one of my classmates. This is, regardless of whenever you graduated, there's always going to be a handout, because it's my Morehouse brother, right? And I think it's similar across the board to other, institutions, that they're going to help their people. And even if it's not a school to school thing, it's a HBCU community thing, where right. we help our students. Oh, you went to FAM? Oh, I went to Morehouse. Well, we don't have enough of us up in here. Let's make sure we try to create those opportunities for our HBCU students to be a part of this process. And so I think, again, if it all goes back, representation. If we have that, and we continue to showcase that and provide ways for our professionals to expose themselves to students, but then also the students to be exposed to those careers, I think you'll see an uptick in those groups. But then also, you got to make it fun too, right? Because we see the seriousness of it. We see the getting older and going into the workforce, but we don't see the side of it where it's about challenging a young person's mind and really showing that you have an opportunity here to do some really great things and impact not only your present day, but your future. And so I think if we do that, I think that's a good step in the right direction.
Thank you, TJ. State Senator, and I know that you have a packed up schedule, so I just wanted you to say something to Reese and to Tita Talks. State Senator, what would you give? What kind of advice? And to Jordan, because Jordan is he's also a Morehouse man, and he's a junior. But Tita Talks and Reese is a junior in high school. What advice will you give to mom in her journey with her son, as it pertains to the college process, and especially as it pertains to the fact that Reese is interested in Morehouse?
Well, look, I would say, one, in terms of college process as a whole, apply for the schools, get engaged. Look, if you're still a junior, the time to figure out where you want to go, figure out what the deadlines are. Make sure you take full advantage of the essays, the alumni interviews. A lot of the resume stuff is set, because you're going to be applying early in your senior year. But make sure that you've looked at all the things that those schools have to offer. Figure out kinds of things they're interested in. Morehouse has historically been interested in leadership opportunities, so make sure you highlight some of the things that you did that showed your leadership skills while you were in high school, and maybe things that you're not thinking of. You could have organized a voter registration event. You could have organized an anti-violence march. Those are all leadership. Those things all show leadership. So it's not just being president of your student body or captain of a sports team. Those things, of course, you want to highlight if you have them. But there are lots of things that people show leadership in other ways. The other thing, a personal essay can go a long way. Make sure you tell your story. There's an opportunity there. And then in terms of the LSATs, the SATs rather. In terms of the SATs, make sure you take the prep courses. SATs do matter. There are a lot of people say they don't matter, whether they should matter or shouldn't matter. They in fact do matter. And make sure you do the best you can on those tests. But the test isn't the end in the beginning. But since you're in your junior year, you still have a chance to take it. Now, that's for students at Morehouse and a parent of somebody at Morehouse or in college. Take advantage of the full opportunities. At Morehouse, you're going to have so many people walk through that campus that have done the remarkable things. Sometimes you have some people who pay attention to everybody that comes through, and others that don't. So don't just be asleep on the yard. Pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention to what's coming through. Network. Be assertive. Let people know you're there. And a lot of those brothers have walked the walk you walk and will be willing to be helpful to you. And it doesn't matter what field you're interested in. If you're at a school like Morehouse, somebody is going to walk through that campus while you're there. That will be able to help you in what you want to do in the future. So you just got to be paying attention. My father used to say, good luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. But I can tell you, if you're at a school like Morehouse, the opportunity is there. You need to be prepared to take advantage of
it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's good advice.
And also, I just want Jordan to just take a look. That's the state senator. That's our state senator, Sharif Street. So, when you come back next year, you make sure that you hit bruh up for a paid internship. Okay. Right there. Make sure, wave your hand, brother, like you just don't care. Because see, because that's crucial. That is crucial because I will say this: State Senator Sharif Street has been thank goodness for him, because he has helped a lot of people get in office. He has helped, and he's in this present administration, and he's been out there in the forefront in the streets. And his father, and Chef said it. His father was our mayor at one time. So we appreciate.
And our new mayor coming in is an HBCU grad. She's a Lincoln grad. So
exactly. Lincoln University, Sherelle Parker.
Yeah,
exactly. So here in Philly, we keep it strong and keep it tight. If I'm not mistaken, State Senator, you were at a function, Morehouse and Spelman yesterday, correct?
Yeah, there was a Morehouse Spelman function. They called it a Spellhouse function. We're talking to a lot of young people, and it was a chance for young people to get to know some of the older folks and old heads like me to get to reconnect with people we haven't seen in a while.
And in every city and in every state, they have them. So in Philadelphia, of course, we have a magnanimous alum. So they're in every city, every state. Down there in Maryland, in New York, of course, all cities and states have a Morehouse and Spelman connection. Find them, connect with them, engage, volunteer. And and this is the thing, in reference to the financial aid, let me just say this: money is everywhere. There is no lack of money. Okay. It's access and being able to put yourself in those doors. Get in the doors. If you're not at the table, then you're on the menu. We have got to, first of all, advocacy. Jordan, you said advocacy. That's so very important. One thing about Morehouse, the brothers have to find their way, because if I'm not mistaken, TJ, there is a parting ceremony, correct? There is that parting ceremony where the mothers and the parents have to part from their children. So
absolutely. Look, I just want to say, look, there, when you come through, when you get accepted to Morehouse, you are an accepted student of Morehouse. When you finish new student orientation, you will then be a Morehouse man, a man of Morehouse, rather. You're a man of Morehouse. When you graduate, you're a Morehouse man. There is a process to this. So getting accepted makes you a student at school. You're not a man of Morehouse until after you do student orientation, and that is an indoctrination process that we're very proud of. And then once you graduate, you're a Morehouse man. And so no matter what stage you are in the journey, we appreciate you. And then before I have to go, I want to do a special shout out, because I know there a lot of folks don't know. We talk about the national figures like Samuel Jackson or Morehouse alum, but locally, I'm a Morehouse man. I'm a state senate chair of the party. My colleague Art Haywood is a Morehouse man. He is another state senator formed at Blue. He had turned PA Blue and help. Art and I worked together to help flip the House and elect our first Democratic Black woman speaker of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. But we got some Spelman alum that are doing some big things. The CEO of Wilco Electronics, a black-owned telecommunications company, Bridget Daniel, is a Spelman alum, and the CEO of Phil Abundance, one of the largest organizations addressing homeland insecurity. Lori Jones, former managing director of City of Philadelphia, also a Spelman alum. I could go on, but there are a lot of big things from Morehouse to Spelman. People doing big things in the city of Philadelphia and across the country. And so with that, look, I want to just say, keep it up. And look, see, thanks for the invitation.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much
for coming. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. You got an impressive group of people here. I'm honored to be there. And while Morehouse football may not be kicking as like he used to, Morehouse track and field is always on top.
That's right.
Let him know.
Thank you. All right, Sharif. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm so goddamn proud of you.
Okay.
You know what? That Raw. Okay.
Wait.
Raw is.
That is awesome.
Wow. Sarah, I want to give Jordan this. Where's Sarah?
Sarah is right here. Yes.
Hey, Sarah. Okay.
Hey, Sarah. There she is.
All right. This is also Sarah, y'all, and also Sarah makes a lot of, a lot of paraphernalia, all that good stuff. I have dog tags. I have, of course, my cup, my sippy cup. I call it a sippy cup, but it's called something else. So anyway, yes, absolutely. And so, Sarah, I have something for you, Jordan, for you. You're gonna be able to take this back. And all that good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, hello. My name is Sarah, as she said. My business is Wharton Creates. And for the most part, I make custom tumblers, but I do.
Also, Sarah.
Yes.
Also, Sarah. I'm subscribed to you.
But Jordan, I heard that you were going back to school and we wanted to send you off the right way. So we have the custom tumbler for you. I heard you were also an alpha and that you were going back to school. So we wanted to make sure you went back the right way.
Yes, thank you so much.
And then we also have
dog tags.
The dog tags, the matching dog for you.
Thank you. I truly appreciate it.
You're definitely welcome.
So we will there are a couple of little things that we have to so Sarah, that we have to just switch up and change in reference to the don't worry, we'll change. It's all good.
Boy, look, Sarah said, wait. Sarah said, excuse me. Sarah said she ain't playing. Sarah said, what is given is. Play with her tongue. Okay, don't play with it. Don't
do that. Don't do that, Ross. See, don't do that. Hello, Scorpio Life and Transparent Talk and Miss Parker. I see the Memphis community up in the building. Yes. Hey. Hello to the Memphis folks. Yes. Okay.
Wait, we got Memphis in the building?
In the building.
Of course we
CEO.
What you see right there, Memphis? What you see right there?
Showing over here.
He's showing off. I love it.
I'm
Lakitas, baby.
There it
Now
is.
I'm gonna key this.
If you Memphis, you know about those. Rest in
Ooh,
peace, Young Dolph. But
that's right. We have the Miss Transparent Talk. She's also a supporter. We collab with her. She knows Tita Raw. We could Just Andrea. We get up over there and cut all the way up with Transparent Talk. And she is the CEO and founder of Memphis Sector of the YouTube streets. Yes. And Miss Parker. I see you, Miss Parker, and all Miss Scorpio. I see you. All of that good stuff. And happy birthday, Lady K.
But see, wait a minute now. Y'all want to shout out Memphis. So now see, we also got to give Aaron O his shout out too. See, because Aaron O is GBG Lieutenant General. Shout out to GBG in the building. Okay. GBG in full effect. All right, we're playing. Aaron is like, if y'all don't get out my face.
Making sure. So anyway, thank you Sarah, and TJ, if you need somebody to make some paraphernalia for you, she's right here for you. Okay. And we'll make sure that I'll make sure that I give you and send you her link in her email. Okay.
Keep that in mind. Thank you.
Yes.
Have the rest of your Sunday, and many blessings to all of you.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Thank you.
See you later, Sarah.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey, Broker Bougie.
Now, you know what? Just Andrea, you've been quiet. Now, this is not like Just Andrea. Where you at? Just Andrea, you have your children, you have your foster children.
I got a baby behind me. That's why I turned my camera off.
I see him. Just Andrea, you and I were on A&T's campus at homecoming.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, there were so many people, and just Andrea and I, TJ. Unlike most alum, I do things in a very untraditional kind of way. So when we get on campus, I give the students the money in their hand. Mm-hmm. Okay, because as a person that was in the band at A&T when I was there, I remember when those alum came to me and said, "What do you need? Here's money in your hand," because we couldn't wait for the financial aid department to go through their process, because I needed detergent, or I needed soap, or I needed deodorant, or I just needed to have it in my books. I needed to have my hair done. You understand what I'm saying, TJ? Mm-hmm. And so financial aid, just Andre and I and our families, when we were on the campus, we chose some people, some students, and we vetted them as well. And we just gave them, here's $100. Here's $100. Here's $100. That's the kind of alum that I am.
Sure.
Even though I give to my alumni association here in Philadelphia, and we just had a 5K run, with all the HBCUs and the Divine Nine and now the benevolent societies. We were able to, sometimes you can't get that process going fast enough. A student needs that money immediately. So that's what we did, and we had a fun time on the campus. Just Andrea was, just you're muted. You're muted.
Okay, I'm back. So it was an experience I never experienced. I had a good time. My niece is there now. She's going there.
A&T.
Yes, at A&T, and I told my brother, I said, "Are you sure you want your daughter down here?" Because it's different than California, but it's nice. It's very nice, and I had a good time. And the band was good, and it was such an experience that I think any children should see. Hold on a minute. Any children should see a college experience, especially at a Black college. So I had a good time.
So TJ, I know you gotta leave soon. I did want to make sure I was asking a good amount of questions to keep the conversations going. I have a thought. I don't know if you guys know, but AKA's recently opened up like a credit union, right? I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. What do you think about that? Do you think that could be a start of like a consistent base point for a lot of groups to start to get together to fund their money? for people that are like-minded and kind of keep money in-house and kind of fund things themselves and just starting to push things in that direction. What do you think about that?
So while I don't have all the particulars about that initiative, I'm very well aware of it. Certainly think that's a great opportunity for organizations, alums, and the like to create money, create opportunities to circulate the Black dollar through their respective communities, as well as give opportunities to those who may not qualify for, your regular credit union or your other financial institution in your neighborhood or in your city. But again, whatever we can do as Black people, as people of color, to to create opportunities for ourselves, to be able to help our institutions, to help our young people, to help our communities, why not? But again, making sure that we have the proper knowledge, proper safeguards, proper governance structures that will keep us transparent with our customers, with our the folks who choose to do business with us. Because one of the things that we hear a lot of as we think about alums and other folks who want to give to our institutions and whatnot, is that there's a pause as it pertains to where the money is going, right? You probably want to give a considerable amount of money to your institution, but what's stopping you from giving $10,000 as opposed to giving $1,000 is like, well, where's my money going to go? And how am I going to track that? Is the institution going to track it? Or is it, am I just going through the motions, just hoping that my investment is going to be used in the proper place? And I think if we figure out ways, or we create ways for us to make sure that people can keep us accountable, I think we'll have so much more buy-in in those types of things like credit unions and the like, because we unfortunately we're very trusting people and we'll trust everybody else, but it's hard for us to kind of trust our own, because there's this mentality that we won't do right by our own selves. And that's unfortunate that we have to have that mindset, because you rarely see that, or at least in the public view, that other groups or ethnicities put their business out there in the street like that, like we do. And unfortunately, that's just something that we will have to overcome, again, through being transparent about our actions, where we are investing, and how we are making sure that we're doing right by those who trust us. And so, I tell anyone here is like, don't be afraid to ask the questions. If you want to, and I think if you find trustworthy people in these organizations or these schools, then you should lean on that and know that if that's what your gut is telling you, and if these are people that you believe in, that you can ask the questions and get the proper answers. And so I'll certainly leave you with that. If there's anything else, certainly that I can answer. TC has all of my information. I'm happy to help. Happy to be on one of these again. It's been great. And thank you.
TJ. So Doc, can I thank the doctor for just a quick moment? Mm-hmm. This has definitely been a little bit of an emotional experience for me. And I want to thank you, because actually last August, my family delivered my nephew into your hands. His name is Sebastian Ford, and he actually just completed his first year at Morehouse.
Okay.
So I want to thank you for your stewardship, and I pray that you keep your ministry going. Thank you, my brother.
No problem. Have him come see me. I'm around on campus. So happy to pour into young brothers as they so choose. My door is always open in Gloucester Hall on the third floor in the president's office. So if he's ever that way, wants to just come chop it up, it's always a pleasure.
And I got you for a steak at Fogo. All right, just holler.
Got it.
Before you leave, TJ, Doc, I just wanted to I want to give something to my Jordan. Okay, I have something for him, and then I want you to say something to Reese, and then I want you to say something to Jordan, Doc, imparting real quick. This right here. You know what this is, right, Jordan?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you do. Okay. Chef, you know what it is. Don't do that, Chef. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let me tell you something. Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so you know, this is boom, bada, bang, bang, bing, boom, boom. Okay. I know this is all of that right here. Understand? This is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Every man must have a timepiece. I don't care about I don't care about all these cell phones. And if you need to learn how to tell time, okay? So a quarter after 5 is not 5:25, it's 5:15. Okay. Right. This is an Invicta. I'm gonna get you a shack for Christmas. Okay. Right. Right. But this is how we do it. North Carolina A&T to Morehouse. You dig what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Thank you so much.
See how that works? Right.
She done told y'all this her son. She done told y'all this
my
her son.
That's my son, and that's what my son. This is what I would be doing for my son. So I'm going to be doing this. He's my son.
The watch
Okay,
is
I have
also,
a daughter.
The watch is also a metaphor to signify that you are the master of your time, and whereby you understand the power of your time and you set that price. Because what's more valuable than money is that time. You know,
time.
Yeah.
Exactly. I just want to say that this is yours. I'll see you. You know when I'll see you.
Yes.
So you're gonna get one. Reese, you'll be getting one as well. Understand? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Let's hear it for Shaq O'Neal for at least making him getting those Invictus franchising with Invicta and making sure that he has timepieces. I love myself some Shaq O'Neal. Everybody say hi. And anyway, so I just wanted to say that trust me, you deserve this. You've worked for this. And I am honored to give it to you. I am honored to give it to you, Jordan.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. You keep on the right path. If you need any one of us here, and you see Aaron, brother Aaron is here. You see Baba Chef, he's here for you. Brothers that got you. The state senator, Sharif Street. There's my Richard. I'm not see why he got purple in the back. Why does he have purple in the back? Because he can't help himself. And then you have your sisters that are here. You have sister Auntie Andrea. You have Auntie Raw, be privileged. Okay. You have Mama Tita. Even though Reese, Mama Tita, that's because that's gonna be your bro. You know what I'm saying? You and Reese are bros, that kind of thing, or bros. I don't know, y'all. That's y'all conversation to have that conversation.
Bruh.
TJ, because I know you all going through a leadership training, because he's gonna be back in your hands. TJ, that's Philly right there. You understand? That's Philly. We don't play. We get down, we rocks with our own.
Got it.
Okay. And so he's going back. He's precious cargo. He's not I don't want him. Okay. You know what to do. So I don't have to tell you because I'll get. And Reese is on his way. We love you, Reese. Thank you so much. His brother's getting ready to go to work in a few and all that kind of stuff. But before y'all go to work, Richard, one of our sponsors, Richard.
Yes.
Who are you, bro? Just say hello. Say hello. I want everybody to know who you are with that purple in the back. What you doing, bro?
Hey, look, I like the purple. That's my motivation. Like Richard Snow, I'm the host of the Smart Start Now podcast, but I'm also the vice president of specialty lending and national franchise banking for Bremer Bank. I also chair the International Franchise Association Black Franchise Leadership Council, and I sit on the foundation board. So what I really focus on and work on is empowering our people through access to capital, entrepreneurship, and making sure we have that opportunity and not only have a seat at the table, but know how to create a seat and create a table of our own. So I'm glad to be here and impart any wisdom that I can provide to you. I'm proud of you, King. I did not go to Morehouse, but there's a saying at Morehouse that they support you and helping you grow into your crown. So we're all a village here to help you and nurture you through that process, and consider each and every one of us a resource.
Now, see, I like that. That's butterfly progressive and fruit.
now, and see that franchising. Listen, y'all have to have this brother on. He has his podcast, and he's created that. And you also, y'all need to have him on your show, interview him, because Boss Lady New Jersey has already interviewed him, and it was amazing, the franchise opportunities. Just so you know, Richard, I need a Shaq watch for Reese and for Jordan, okay?
Yeah.
Because I know you know Shaq, so don't play with me, okay? I'm doing this in front of everybody and things of that nature. So I need a Shaq watch from Invicta, and then we can go from there. And one for Aaron and one for Chef and TJ too, okay? We all gonna get one.
Now this is where we have to hit TC with this. Okay, Team Petticoats in the building. Petty.
Yes. Thank you. I mean that. So anyway, I just want to say, anybody have any questions? Because along with just graduating from college and getting a job, it's not about just getting a job, y'all. It's about creating your own wealth. So that for the franchising is amazing. There's so many opportunities out there. So anybody have any questions for Richard? Richard, you have your information.
Well, wait a minute now. We're not going to rush Mr. Snow, because Dr. Snowden had said that he did have to go.
All right.
Now, Dr. Snowden, I like to respect people's time. TC said she was going to make you sit up here, baby. She said she was going to make you sit up here till you was tired. I'm going to go ahead and give you this.
Thank you, TJ.
No, thank you both for the opportunity and the platform. Certainly anything that I could do. Happy to be back on at any time. And again, congratulations to Jordan and you, but Reese, keep pushing. Certainly something that if Morehouse is really what you want, you already done a tour. Certainly come back and see us and apply at the appropriate time, and we look forward to having you. If there's anything I could do, I'm sure Jordan will echo the same sentiments, as well as the senator. Please reach out to us, and any parents or interested students that are on as well. Our doors are always open. Certainly want to again give you TC and Raw a shout out for the platform, and thank you all again, and have a great weekend.
Thank you, Dr. Snowden, you as well.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Raw, everybody, Dr. Snowden, and everybody on the panel. Thank you so much for having Reese, my son. I adore him, and I just, I want the best for him. And I'm so excited with hearing you all talk about Morehouse. At first, I was a little against it because it's so far. And but it sounds like Morehouse is a great school. It's a great start, and I'm all in. Yeah.
Thank you. That's good.
Good. Okay, so now TC, going ahead and grill Mr. Snow, because you ready, honey? She's excited. Woo! We excited to have you, honey. It's that purple. It's that purple in the background.
It's that purple. It's for a reason. It's for a reason. Everything's always for a reason. So, Richard, you have a couple of books that you read. I know the last time that we interviewed you that you were reading, and I want you to talk to Reese and Jordan about how important it is, and just to your brothers, period, and in reference to reading and reading various books. So which books were you reading and why?
So first I just have to give a shout out, because the purple is back there, for the brothers of Omega South 5. So root to the bros. So you're down there in Morehouse. That's the soul of Omega down there. So look for some brothers, look for some friends. Just want to give you that. I have to make that shameless plug. But books that I'm reading currently right now. So one that I'm really enjoying is the 5 a.m. Club. In that 5 a.m. Club, he talks about the standards, the regulation of your day that you should put together, how you create these 1% changes in your life to create 100% change in your life. So 1% each day. So if you get up at 5 a.m., you go through your meditation, you plan out your day, you create your ideas, you prep yourself for success. And if you prep yourself for success before anybody can interrupt your time, then you kind of set the baseline of your day. So it really talks about creating that structure and things that you can do to master yourself. Because really, what you're going to find out in life, and this is why I'm always reading, what you're going to find out in life is that it's really mastery of your mind and how you hone those skills and how you bring out the best parts of you and implore those and push those into the world. So if you can have a focused part of your day, structure in the beginning, you can have a focused part in the middle, then you have a successful end. And if you replicate that effort, then your every day, your every week becomes multiplied by that success. So there's a gentleman named Earl Nightingale, and he says, a successful man is one that always has a worthy goal in which he's trying to attain, not reaching somebody else's goal, a worthy goal that he's trying to attain. So my goal doesn't have to match yours, but you must have a goal. You must have a direction. You must have a North Star in your life. That's important. Just like your goal was to go to college. Now your goal is to, get successful grades in college and to master whatever you decide to major. So those things are important as you continue to develop on. So the 5 a.m. Club is an amazing book out there that you should consider. Another one that I read a lot of things, anything by W.E.B. Du Bois. W.E.B. Du Bois wrote a paper while he was in Morehouse called The Talented 10th. And on The Talented 10th, in there, he spoke about, there was one passage in there that he talked about incessantly studying your history. Because if you don't study your history, you're doomed to repeat it. And a lot of the things that we're going through today are cycles. It's cyclical. It's not new. And it talked about, if you're a good worker, we make good worker of men. If you're a good provider, then we make good providers of men. But mentally, if you enhance your mind and your studying, we make men that can change the world. And that's what we want to make from you. Not just great in one aspect of life, but all aspects of life. The Talented 10th. And then also deep into Deepak Chopra. He has a book called Metahuman, meaning beyond human. And it talks about, again, the shaping of your mind and meditating of your mind. And you see, I keep going back to your mental, because the battle is not, in the Bible, it talks about we don't fight against principalities of flesh, but we fight against spirits and mental things that takes place. So a lot of times, if this is not right first, nothing else outside of this vessel will be right. So these are just some of the tidbits that I give you there, but I implore you to pick up, read, enrich yourself in our history of who we are as men and who we are as kings, and empower yourself, because that's what you are from the beginning. You are a king and you're growing into that. So if you can increase and develop your mind of that, what you can do in this world is untapped. And I don't ever want you to feel like your gifts are tapped. There's no ceiling to your gifts. There's no ceiling to what you can achieve. Just know that it is all out there. And if you move towards that with a vigor and with a purpose, you will attain.
All right. Thank you, Richard. You said that, one last thing for Richard, and you said that the last time that we had an interview with you, you were on your way to you were on a date. You were on date night with your wife.
Yes.
And you said something in reference to, you keep dating your wife. So
all the time.
Okay.
All the time. Especially, you got to keep dating. If you don't continue to date and seek her, then she doesn't. That's what made her feel like you were attracted to her, right? So if you continue to seek and take on trips and be refreshed and renewed, the spirit of your union, the spirit of your marriage is renewed. So we constantly seek, and I include my wife in everything I do. If I travel somewhere and I can include her as to be a part of that, then we put those things together, because us as men that are out here making a difference in this world, life becomes busy. You're pulled in multiple directions, but you got to remember your core, your balance. And usually, if you look at it, it's your faith, your family, and then anything outside of the world comes after that. So I always try to focus on that core pieces that keep me grounded, and one of that is my queen. So, and I'm always continuing to do that. Date, always do temperature checks. You don't have to worry about that yet because you're not married, but always when you do get married, do temperature checks, because things change. Relationships are cyclical. They fluctuate in life, so you just want to make sure what's going on, and things will test you in life. And many times it's not the internal threats in your marriage or your relationship, it's the external. It's the job, it's something going on outside of that. Maybe it's family outside of your core relationship. So always do those temperature checks and check in on each other, because you need those ways to balance yourself and come back to that. Because at the end of the day, marriage is for life, and life is a long time. My wife and I just celebrated 15 years of marriage, 20 years together. And we got an eternity to go. And what it looks like at my age now, at our age now, is what it's going to look like at 60 and 70 is completely different. So you always want to do those checks and where you're at in your journey, and where you're at within your course. And are you still on that motorcycle together? One of my counselors said, in marriage, you have to turn the corners together. And she used the analogy, you ever see two people on a motorcycle, and the man's on the front, the woman's on the back. And when they go into a curve, they turn that curve together. They go left or right. Now, if the man leans left and the woman leans right, what happens? Motorcycles crash, right? Because you went two different directions going through the curve of life. So long as you're going through the same curve together and you can balance that together, you'll come out on the other side the right way. As long as you're doing it together and you're checking each other pulse of how you feel about each other in that marriage. So that's just my tidbit as you asked that question about am I still dating.
Okay. So, Tita, I know that Reese, you all getting ready to go. So, all right. I just want to say thank you, Reese. Everyone say thank you. The Tita Talks, can't give it up to Tita Talks and Reese. We're here on your journey, bro. You're a junior in high school. It's on. This is it.
I got one piece of advice for you, Reese. I got one piece of advice for you, my little brother. I'm gonna let you know this. You're going to be going off to college at some point. And there's a question that I always ask people on my show, whether it's the first time or the last time. What makes you a unique soul within this universe? And I think what's going to be important for you as a man, as you start to travel, because we are, of course, a nomadic people, you want to know what makes you your unique self, that special thing about you that you keep with you. So no matter what sands you put your feet on, you're going to know who you are. You're going to know where's home. And even if home doesn't exist, it's going to exist within you. Because, I live in Atlanta, and the school is located within a tough part of Atlanta. So you're going to see life. You're going to see the beauty of life. You're going to see some of the pains of life. You understand? But you got to remember who you are. So no negative influences, can interfere with you. So you'll have the ability to rebuke any evil forces that try to move you off of your path. You follow, stand on your square, 10 toes down, and you're gonna be all right. But you got to know who you are. All right.
Thank you.
Exactly. And to piggyback off of what our lovely chef said, I give you this.
To excel at this internship, you're going to need far more than brain power. What you're going to need is googliness. Nothing funny. Googliness. The intangible stuff that made a search engine into an engine for change.
Find your googliness. Find your Google. You don't have to be like nobody else.
Yeah.
You are uniquely and wonderfully made to be exactly who you are and shine bright. People gonna hate. People gonna hate. People gonna say, "Nah, you can't do that." People gonna say, "Ah, that's not good enough." And then you know what you do? You be like, "Oh, okay," because God didn't give your vision to them. He gave your vision to you.
Right.
And Aaron, do you have anything to say to Reese and to Mama Tita?
Absolutely. Reese, one thing I would say during these times, next couple of years, you want to be extremely selfish, extremely focused on what you have to do and what's best for you. Because when you're selfish first, you can be unselfish later. So,
And Tita, I have advice for you. Just enjoy the ride. Just enjoy the ride. Your son's going to college. He's going to be down there with prominently Black young men.
Yes.
So just enjoy the ride. I know it's gonna be hard because he's going away, but I always told my son when he moved out to his dad's house, just think you in college and I will see you. I can call you. You're always able to call me. So just enjoy the ride.
Thank you.
And another piece of advice, just to piggyback off of just Andrea, just to say to Reese, just to say to Mama Tita, just understand that, just to piggyback, that once he comes to Morehouse, if that's the place that you're to be, that you're stepping into a brotherhood that's lifelong, that's forever. Dr. Snowden spoke on it. Senator Street spoke on it a little bit, and I can just speak on it for myself. This brotherhood does not end. I can walk in the airport, I can walk in a grocery store. If they see that M, that we're there all day just talking, but understanding that we're here to help each other continue to progress. Understand that it's home. Once you're down there, it's home. These are your brothers forever. We're ready to embrace you into our Morehouse culture, and just excited for your journey through college. The first step is done. You want to go to college, and you're putting it into action. And that's the most exciting part. So where you end up, again, we embrace you no matter where you go. I embrace you no matter where you go, and always know you have me as a resource if and when you come to Morehouse. And I can't wait to see you there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Wow, that was beautiful.
Yes.
So, and Reese, Tita, I know you have to go because Reese is on his way to work. So,
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Miss Raw. Thank you,
Love
everybody.
you, Miss Tita. See y'all. Bye bye.
The brothers, what do you all have to say to Jordan in his junior year of college, and what insight and direction would you give to him?
I would say, Jordan, what are you currently focusing on career-wise? Are you looking at any co-op opportunities? Are you taking advantage of any internships? What are you focusing on career-wise at this point?
Yes, thank you. So I'm currently a rising junior at Morehouse College, studying sociology with a minor in public health. My interest falls in the world of politics. Was about healthcare policy, but have broadened my horizon to anything that pertains to the uplift of my community and being able to be a resource to my community. I currently have an internship working in government office, being able to help constituents with their problems, but also help the city of Philadelphia in the areas that aren't spoken on as well, representing the minorities inside of our communities, and just being able to looking forward to having any future opportunities in that area. The city of Philadelphia has done so much for me, had taken part of so many opportunities that have been out there. So through my college journey and then post my college journey, I hope to either be in the city of Philadelphia or wherever that work takes me. But my leadership and service is in whatever respective spaces therefore.
That's absolutely excellent, Jordan. You're extremely focused young man. I can hear it in your thoughts and how you articulate your vision. That's absolutely important. I think it would also be important from a government relations standpoint. I know a few GR offices in DC, which would love to have somebody intern such as yourself. So TC, if you can make sure I get Jordan's information, I like to create the thread and connect them so you can understand from a government relations standpoint how that dance or that interaction or that engagement goes in DC, working both sides of the House, working the Senate, and creating those relationships with some individuals down there that can definitely help them go to the next level because there's a few HBCU partnerships within the DC area that supports the next generation of government relations, people who want to be in politics, legislative aides that I can connect you with. So I'll be glad to do that for you, Jordan.
Thank you.
Aaron, and then Baba Chef.
I'm sorry. What did you need?
Aaron said, "Wait, don't put me on the spot."
Do you have anything to say to Jordan? Any words to impart to him?
Oh, okay. Just come right back to me. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. My mind just totally.
Baba Chef.
Yes. So Jordan, at this time, you're almost, let's say, a few stages in more than Reese. He's about to jump into your journey in another year and change. You're about to jump out of this journey within another year and change. So the only thing I could say to you, and it's not even a question, it's just, I want you to think about the movements that you made and the journey that you had going in, and the pitfalls and the obstacles that you had to circumvent or climb or go through, right? I want you to remember them. I want you to remember those people that were there to mentor you, to brother with you, to fellowship with you. And I want you to become them. At this point, now it is your time to start to pay back into that ecosystem. Because obviously with the way that you articulate yourself, the things that you're stating, you obviously are on your way and nothing's stopping you. But at some point now, as you become a tree, you have to start to think about the seeds that you plant yourself and how you cultivate the next bit of crops that are going to come behind you for that next harvest. At this point, you're not little bro anymore. You're big bro, So always think about that service to not just the community on outside, but just the new younger brothers that's coming in. I mentioned my nephew Sebastian. He's literally on the campus. It always starts at home. So always remember to try to pay it forward, bro. All right?
Yes, I appreciate that.
Appreciate you.
I did have one more piece for you, Jordan. As you are getting ready to matriculate, I think one of the reason why I talked about the internship component of it first, because that's where you do 4 years of college to just focus on what you want to do career-wise on your path. I think one of the best things you can have is those co-ops and those internships, what you're currently doing, to give you a really good fit of what you want to do once you get out, but also pairing you with organizations that are going to pay you what you're worth. That's important. You don't want nobody to have you struggle and pay you subpar once you get out of school. You're not making the wage of what you qualify for or what you deserve. So I think the internship does that because it builds a certain amount of transferable skill sets that you can use in any organization. So I think that's important for you to get the career that's going to give you the runway and where you envision to see yourself, and it's not going to create a silo for you. So when you said you wanted to work within the government space where you're empowering your people, well, I would start to look at organizations that's top of the line and empowering your people. Look within the White House. Look at those places where you have a runway and a trajectory and you're not given a ceiling. So that's the first piece, because you have to be able to, the first thing you're worried about is, how can I take care of myself? I'm no longer living on the campus. I'm no longer have room and board. I can't go back and get support from my family, nor do you really want to, because you want to stand out there on your own. You want to hunt on your own. So make sure you can get something that can provide the income necessary for you to do so. I think the next big piece of that is continue to engage in other networks. Find those networks out there. For me, when I came out of school, it was very important to be a part of the National Black NBA Association. It was very important to be a part of the National Black Journalists for what I was doing at that current time. And pour into a network of individuals that have matriculated and are at the top of the game in their chosen fields. So I think that's important. Don't limit yourself to geographic spaces. This is a time where you're not married, you have no kids. Aaron spoke about being selfish for you. And I would say that time is going to be one of the most solitude and quietest times of your life that you can actually focus with nothing preventing you from exploring, touching those, what we talked about, those intangibles, understanding who you are. Because from your age currently, usually I say a man, you're building a foundation from the age you are currently up to about 35. You're building that foundation of your life so you can then bring other people's into your life to begin to build upon that. So I would say, really enrich your network, continue to build that network, look for organizations that are not going to pigeonhole you, and shrink your skill sets where you can learn as much as possible and give you the runway needed to soar. I think that's going to be very, very important. And travel and see this beautiful world that we have out here. Take on, in today's world, it's no longer taking a one job and working there for 10 years, 20 years. You can explore and do projects overseas. You can work. You can work within NATO. You can work within the White House government. You can work in different branches of government. You can work in different organizations, think tanks. There's so much.
How is anybody going to be able to follow this up? No. I got to stop you there. I can't follow up with anything. You got all the game. I got to say something before you can.
It's all you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sneak in a little bit. Otherwise, I'm just be stuck. You're like, man, I can't. I'm just kidding. Because that's great. That's great information. Really insightful. I would say this, Jordan. As you're navigating, you're really, really young. You'll be trying to find your place in life. That is the one thing that all young people struggle with. Where do I fit in this world? Don't get heavily fixated on that. In my opinion, I would say that the one thing you want to do, because I see you have a high level of patience and tact, just know that it's best to attack the world instead of waiting for the world to come to you. A lot of times people just sit around and they just, life is going to happen. You have to happen to life. So just make sure you're on attack mode.
That's right.
Be aggressive to doing things that you want to do. And in that experience, you will start to find out how you fit in this world. But I think a lot of people make the mistake of just, I'll figure it out. Let life happen to me. No, you got to attack life. And I think that will suit you well because you are clearly well-rounded and very much going to be very successful in this world. And we all can see it. So that's what I would say. And I had to throw that in there before he went off on there because I'm like, man, I can't go after him. I can't do this.
Aaron, look, those are gems right there.
I want to say thank you both for those kind words and words of wisdom. It's not taken for granted. You spoke on it. It was spoken on as well. To say that at this point in life, you are very consumed with where your purpose is. Where do I place? I think that as I hear it again, that I reaffirm myself that in all that I do, just continue to allow that to be my pathway to continue to go forward. And so I just thank you both again, Richard Snow and Aaron Ho. I thank you both. It's just a pleasure to be here and be able to hear all these words of wisdom, as well as Chef to you as well. Thank you.
I do have to say really quickly, I do apologize, but I do have to run. It's not fun, but I do have to go. I really, really appreciate you inviting me, Raw BTC. Richard, Chef, Andrea, Jordan, it was a pleasure meeting you guys. Hopefully we'll do this again soon because I got a lot more questions to ask because I like asking questions. Okay. Thank you guys.
You popping onto my show one of these days, bro. I have a little curriculum set up. Don't worry, he's gonna fit you.
Yeah,
no doubt. I got you, bro. No doubt.
Love you, Aaron. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. Just Andrea, do you have anything to say to Jordan?
Yes. Or just don't take life so hard. Just I know school. You look wonderful. You sound wonderful, and your presence. So just have fun in college and still do your studies, but just take life one day at a time, and you're gonna be successful. You're already on the road to success. I can see it. I can hear it, and so just enjoy life too, because the college experience, and when it passed, you're gonna say, did I finish doing this? Did I do that? Did I have some regrets? And so just enjoy it and keep pushing and keep paying it forward to the next generation. And that's the good thing.
Now, see, everybody else done told you some great advice, right? Listen. This is what we finna do right now. Me and you is finna have a conversation, okay? Because they far removed from the college experience, right? Do all that good stuff. Prepare for life when you get older and stuff like that. But, like, don't be that dull guy, right? Go out, live life, and have fun. Have fun. Because when you start really adulting, you don't really have time for fun. And I think that so many people want to be focused on the success. They forget to stop and smell the roses. Doing that is always going to keep you in the right balance. Maintain a proper work-life balance. We can't have you having a heart attack at 42, okay? We can't have it. We can't have it. We can't have it. We won't. I won't let it happen. I refuse.
Yes.
I refuse.
Now, does anybody want to tackle this one, the elephant in the room, the conversation about the girls, the young ladies?
What you mean?
Baba Chef, Baba Richard.
I'm pretty sure.
Just Andre is ready.
Jordan,
Wait a minute.
I'm pretty sure Jordan's already dealing with it. I would say, Jordan, I'll say this. Be very understanding of the young ladies at this stage in your life that come into your life, or any stage, because as you're building out that relationship with them, or if it's somebody that you're just dating, dating can have issues that come, along where you can create a child with that woman if you're not properly protecting yourself out there, and that can change your whole trajectory of where you're going to go in life. So just be understanding that you're dating women, or if you're taking somebody serious that have the same goals, that you do, that actually amplify you as well, and you should amplify them. But I would say be cautious of that. But I would say also take that time to really continue to focus on you, because when you get into a relationship at your age, as soon as you get out of school, some people may have the aspiration of, they want to get married early. You may have the aspiration, I want to explore myself. So just make sure you're on the same page there. I would say try to focus on not having any kids no time soon, because that will slow down your whole process and change your process, because now you have to focus on that kid. I will tell you that. But I would say enjoy yourself, and make sure that the woman that you're dating is like-minded as well, that she has the same focus that you do, and enjoy yourself. Nothing truly serious right now. Just like Robbie said, have fun. Don't get trapped up in being dull, but also don't get trapped up. So if you get where I'm reading between the lines.
Okay, don't get caught up. Don't get caught slipping.
Yep.
Baba Chef, and then Andrea.
So I'll tell you this, Jordan. Remember, we talked about the watch and utilizing the watch as a metaphor for you mastering your time and understanding the value of said time. Part of that, mastering that time, is understanding that the more time you spend with a particular young lady, you're actually spending a vital resource. And if you're going to be utilizing that resource of your time with that person, understand that time breeds complacency. You have no time to be complacent, to get comfortable. Once you gain that euphoria of comfort, that's when you get caught slipping. Always be intentional. Sometimes they tell you have to be comfortable with feeling uncomfortable, right? I'm a corporate trainer as well. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And so it's almost like coming from the hood, Philly. I'm from Brooklyn. Sometimes we know how to keep our head on a swivel. We always know it. But guess what? Our Achilles heel, because there was somebody in the chat that said our enemy exists within us, right? Sometimes we can become our own enemy. So keep your head on a swivel and understand when your heart is becoming that chink in the armor. Because, and I'm not getting red pill on you, but always remember, in that dynamic between you and her, think you are the star. You are of value. Pedestalize yourself. All right. It sounds selfish, but how are you going to be an intentional husband, man, leader, prophet, priest, king without building yourself up first, bro? All right. So it's about you.
First of all, you just stuck a knife in my heart. How dare you, chef? How dare you? How dare you? No, seriously though, they do tell you in the air, when you're in the airplane, you got to put your own oxygen mask on first. But don't say it like that.
Thank you, Miss Satin. I see you, Lauren Satin, Black Lexington, come pillow talk with Bay. I see you. I see all of you. Thank you.
Black Lexicon is one. Hold on a second, just Andrea. Black Lexicon is one of your brothers, Jordan, and he had said go across the street to Spelman. Get you one of them little dancers, dance girls. Get you one of them. Keep one of them on your side.
Not to mention, y'all. Morehouse also has the College of Medicine. They have a doctor MD program as well.
Child, not the doctors, honey.
Oh,
Shout out to the doctors,
y'all. Sisters, y'all sisters out there.
Well, I say, Jordan, I tell my son all the time, women come in your life for different reasons, different seasons, and sometimes if they are a distraction, trying to distract you from what you got to do, really not good for you. I'm just saying. So, if they're not promoting you, making sure you do your studies, that's the wrong person for you. That's my advice. I tell my son all the time. Mm-hmm. Because you finishing college is the number one goal.
Right.
If somebody's trying to distract you from that, maybe they're not the right person in your life. So.
And Jordan, they're giving you right, and also what Chef said, he was talking about the building of your temple and focusing on you. No strong woman wants to come into an incomplete house at all.
Right.
No strong woman wants to come into an incomplete house. Once you build that foundation, you build that house, you build that temple, a queen gonna come. Don't let nobody stop you from building that up first, and the right queen gonna come, and she gonna allow you to build a compound after that and more temples. So. Just be focused in that. Somebody may see your runway and they want to truncate your runway in the beginning. They want to cut you off. They want to grab you before you ascend because they can't go to that altitude. Build that temple, go to that altitude, and that right queen will come.
And that's right.
And that's true.
Yes, it is. Wow, this has been amazing. This has really been amazing. Jordan, how do you feel? And what do you think?
I mean, as always, as I've said throughout tonight, or this afternoon, I'm appreciative of all the words that are said. Honestly understanding that anyone you can encounter can be a part of your village if they're there for both. They're there to congratulate you along your way, right? I appreciate everybody that's been on here thus far. Some Morehouse brothers on here as well, and just seeing how big this community really is, seeing that once someone is invested in you and you can tell that it's genuine, right, then those words mean much more. So I'm just thankful for this opportunity to even just sit here and just listen to all that said, even the words to Reese. So just appreciative of it all. This, as I get ready to head back to school, just some things to think about as well. And year transformations. Yes.
That's it. I do want to say that we have 4 absolutely wonderful sponsors, and the Cash App that was sent to you was part of the sponsors that we were able to acquire, and that's to go to you for your personal needs. I know that you're getting ready to go through leadership training, and there are things that you will definitely need, and you're going to be helping and bringing in the new freshmen and their families, walking on through campus. You're like an ambassador. So this panel here, Baba Chef, Richard Snow, Baba Richard Snow, who is one of your sponsors, Baba Chef, who is always, speaking about education and making sure that, Black men, Black males, Black men are always at the table of leadership and service, and making them accountable for the good, the bad, and the indifferent. We have here Auntie Just Andrea. Of course, she's absolutely wonderful, and she's gonna give it to you straight, no chaser. So you don't ever have to worry about wondering what she thinks. She's gonna give it to you straight, no chaser, and she has an authentic heart. Okay, Sister Auntie Raw over here, she's gonna be like, look, come over here, Nep, come on over here, and this is yeah, all that good stuff. We're gonna keep it 100 and all that. I'm ratchet at times. So the bottom line is that at times, don't get it twisted. I get bougie too, so don't do that, okay, y'all? Don't do that. Richard Snow, thank you for your sponsorship. I want to say to the School Police Association of Philadelphia, thank you all for your sponsorship. Brahim Whitfield, the daycares that he owns, he's a nurse, and the brother is absolutely awesome. Brahim, thank you so much. And what was the other one? It was for
Modern Homes.
Yes, absolutely. Modern Home Healthcare Association.
Yes.
So I just want to say thank you to them. And I was able to give something to Jordan and to Reese, because Reese will also have, fees, application fees, and all kinds of things that are going to become up, SAT fees and ACT fees. So we were able to give these 2 gentlemen something to go back and just so that you'll remember us. We're your network, we're your virtual family, and I will be sharing everyone's information with you, Jordan, and vice versa. Okay, so I just want to say, Jordan, thank you. I know it's going to be another week. We'll probably have something for you in the office, but thank you for being your unique you.
I'm sorry, but to TC, just Andrea, Raw B, Richard Snow, Chef, I just want to say thank you to everybody again. Thank you to all the sponsors as well. This means a whole lot to me. Any conversation is just an opportunity for growth, and so just being able to just sit here and soak this all in again, it's just been nothing nothing short of just amazing and transformative opportunity for me. So thank you again for blessings to all.
You're welcome. And TC don't know this, but I'm a little extra. So I'm gonna put y'all in the back real quick, and I'm gonna share this poem with y'all. This poem is called Young King. And we're also gonna listen to the Morehouse College Glee Club sing We Shall Overcome as I read it to you. Young King, listen to me. Find that one thing that gets you out of bed in the morning. That'll help you push you out of mourning. That keeps you going when your stomach is churning with self-doubt. Young King, listen to me. I know the world is cold. Bullets snatching lives, leaving the guns of officers meant to protect the people. I know it's hard to do what you're told. When they're throwing you up against the wall, giving up on you in the classroom, conditioning you to think you're doomed. Either way, Young King, there's a crown on your head that no one can yank away. One that's here to stay. till the very end. They say heavy is the head that wears the crown, but if anyone can handle it, it's you. And whatever you choose to do, young king, keep your head up. Even when you're fed up, even when you're knocked down, just know you can always stand back up and stand proud. With a heart full of pride, with confidence that shows in your stride. Never let your dreams die. Never let your heart turn cold. Because that's just what they want. And that's just a little something. I don't want to share with y'all.
Got me over here crying, okay?
Yeah, right.
I want to get the snaps in there.
Girl, yeah.
But this was an amazing podcast, and I'm glad that everyone can come. On social media, we have a tendency to see a lot of nonsense, a lot of ratchetness, and a lot of arguments. But at the end of the day, it doesn't always have to be that. We all have so many people in our networks that we never tap into. And because it's not going to bring the biggest draw, and because everybody's not going to be with the hip hip hooray, we don't do it. It's not about the crowd, it's about the message. And everything you do, always remember, it is the message, the message, the message. Does anybody else have anything else to say before we close it out?
That was beautiful.
I just want to thank you for allowing me to. Oh, I'm sorry, Richard. You go ahead, brother.
Go, Chef. You got it. You got it, Chef.
I just wanted to sincerely appreciate you, TC, for allowing me to be a part of this magnanimous situation today. I didn't expect this, and just having goosebumps and being able to participate in carrying. It was almost as though we were at a rites of passage,
Yes,
and I got goosebumps. So just being able to be, 1/6 or a box on the freaking screen while this was taking place, it meant the most to me. So to even have the ability to participate, it makes me proud. Sebastian's dad, my Uncle Billy, he's Dr. Ford, and he's part of my family's legacy at Princeton, but he hit me up and he said this was a powerful show. Sebastian's watching, and my uncle started texting me, telling me, "Man, you seem in your element. This is a beautiful conversation." So you have an extended family that you don't even realize. You know what I'm saying? So embrace the people like God put in before you, Jordan. Just like I embrace the TCs, the Raw Bs, the Just Andreas, even the Richard Snows, because that great executive producer in the sky, he put people in front of us for a reason. And I think the beauty of life is trying to figure out what it is, And that's all I got. Thank you to all of you.
You're welcome. Mr. Snow, you had something else you wanted to add?
Yeah, Jordan, you make me feel confident in the future. Like so powerful in the future. And just knowing that you're out there and your tenaciousness, your tenacity, I know it's in good hands. I know it's in good hands with you. And Steph, hearing your words and what you brought to, and Jordan, you got to hear 3 powerful queens talk to you today. Queens, they are precious, and not everybody is a queen. You had 3 talk to you and pour into your vessel today in your spirit and your soul. So I'm glad that I could be a part of that. Everybody on here is a part of my village, and just know, I'm gonna put this out there. If you ever need anything, Jordan, or if you get to a point you need a resource or something, a monetary resource, reach back into this network, TC. You can call back, and if you need a cash app, reach out. Be glad to, because you never know when you need that for, and I don't want you to feel like you don't have a village you can go to.
Amen. Well, with that being said, we're gonna conclude business for today. We want to thank y'all for watching, honey. Y'all know how we give it up over here, honey. You got to fly free because it's a what? It's a privilege, not an option. Mm-hmm.
And hey to Boss Lady. I see you, Boss Lady. Yes. Thank you, Boss Lady, for coming through. And
Amen.
all of Watermelon Sugar, everybody, all the content creators that came in, all of them. And thank you all on this panel. And yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Good luck, Jordan. Good luck in whatever you do in your future. Good luck. God bless you. Okay.
God bless you.
Amen. Now we're gonna close it out with a throwback outro. Chef and Andrea know TC know it too. You all ready? Let's get it. Let's go. Hey.
Steady blocking the devil. I tell a hater, God bless you. Cherish moments that special. You gotta keep the memento. If you love me, then I love you, and I could never forget you. Some memories don't fade. Sometimes you miss the old days, but nothing changed unless you change. What's around you? How you think? How you live? How you speak? How you walk? How you blink? How you talk? How you teach? How you reach? Let it sink. What's your purpose? What's your passion? Through the pain? What's your plan? Is it play? On a plane? How's your plane? I'm just playing. What's your purpose? What's your passion? Did it pay? What's your play? Is it play? On a plane? How's your plane? I'm just playing. A beat by Joby, feel like Obi-Wan Kenobi, cause I'm a star and they can't hold me like I'm Kobe in the fourth. Yeah, nothing is ever forced. We headed straight to the source. No middleman, little man. Let me show you if you was lost. It's a couple college courses, but I ain't finished that shit. Been chasing dreams since 17, so yeah, I've been on my shit.